All right, guys, welcome back. Today we're here with Chastity Harrison, our HR specialist, people person. What are we?
People ops director.
Director of people. She doesn't even know her own title, so I don't know what that tells you about HR. Appreciate you joining us. You nervous?
Yeah.
Don't be nervous.
Okay.
We're gonna have fun. So a lot of people think you just hire and fire.
I do.
That's your only job.
That's it.
No.
I thought you hired and you fired.
That's basically
That's
how it
actually
goes.
true.
That's how it goes.
And Brian's the only one that fires.
Yeah.
She dreads me calling her. It's never good news. So what all does your job entail, Chastity?
Oh man. If we want to start from the top to bottom, A to Z, so I do all of the recruitment and then screen the applicants as they come in, set up the interviews. I do the onboarding, the orientation, putting them in the system, employee relations, so talking Brian out of firing people most of the time. I do performance management, I do workers' compensation, I do payroll, I'll do all the fun stuff in between.
That's it?
That's pretty much the gist.
What's your favorite part of out of all that, what would be your favorite part?
I like recruitment the most.
Why?
I like getting to talk to new people, although it can get crazy sometimes. And then I like being able to help them
Okay.
improve their lives.
How does it get crazy?
So one time, you get all kinds of crazy people that apply for positions. There's been a few times I've had people show up in pajamas and slippers. I've done Zoom interviews where I can hear them being coached in the background. I'll say a question, they answer, but they pause. And I'm like, why are they pausing? And then in the background you can hear someone telling them an answer. So that's happened. So you just never know what you're going to get.
So what town do they work in right now?
I have no idea. Not Alamogordo.
We
Well, maybe.
not-
I mean,
Does it make you feel kind of like the mom of the company?
kind of. I feel like the principal.
Yeah,
I would
there
say.
you go.
Yeah.
People are afraid to talk to me. Like one time I asked Marissa if she could come to the office because I wanted her to sign a card. And I was like, hey Marissa, can you come here for a second? She was like, do I need to clock in? Because she was
So she's gonna get canned.
not going to get fired.
So earlier today we had our leadership meeting. You were talking about when you interview people, you play up the company. You love to talk about the company. Love.
Yeah.
What's your spiel?
So usually they say, well, what do you like about the company? What's your favorite part? And I always say I love the people that I work with. I love coming to work every day. I love the atmosphere, and that we take care of our people. And so then that goes into the compensation package that we offer, the benefits, pay, the 401k package. And a lot of the feedback is I've never heard of a company that puts so much into their benefits to help the employees. So that's how I lead into it.
Do you think that helps us recruit better applicants, more, maybe not even more qualified, but more talented, more energetic people?
I think so. I think that they know that they're coming into a company that will value them. I always go over the core values in my interviews. And a lot of people say, oh, I've never had that during an interview. I've always said ask. They don't just willingly, give that out. And being transparent about the pay, about the benefits that we offer, and about the culture.
So talking about your position specifically, what's an important trait that you have to have as an HR person?
I think you kind of have to be a chameleon.
Okay.
You have a lot of personalities that you work with. and it's learning how to work with each person and how they operate. So, whether it's, working with Kevin or Tom or Kareem, those are all different personalities. You have to learn how they work in order to work with them efficiently.
How do you manage that? Is there a key to it?
Over time, you learn. I mean, when I first started, I had absolutely no idea. But over time, you learn their personalities, and you just learn to adapt to how they want to be treated. And I treat people how I want to be treated. So,
Who do you think is the most challenging to work with?
most challenging to work with?
Man, you ask her that on camera?
Yeah. Putting her on the spot.
When I first started, it was Kareem. But now she's one of my most favorite people to work with. And I think there's not one individual that's challenging, because I love working with everyone. There's not one person when they call me, I'm like, oh my God, what are we about to talk about? Except for sometimes you.
I feel like my phone calls are never that good. And the message is, hey, you got time to talk?
Yeah.
Oh, talking about interviewing people, how do you effectively filter out unsuitable candidates?
I do a lot of phone calls where I'm just calling just to get the general feel. But before that, I look at resumes, and if they're not well put together, then they don't care enough to work hard, So I'll look at that. But when I call and I ask, do you know about French Brothers? And if they have absolutely no idea who we are, then I'm probably not going to interview them. There was one applicant I called, and I was like, why are you interested in this position? What do you know about French Brothers? Who? Who's French Brothers? What position? And I was like, you applied for our so-and-so position. She was like, oh, I applied for everything on Indeed. So I was like, okay, probably not going to work out.
Is there something you look for specifically in the candidate? I mean, obviously great attitude, prepared, but is there something out of the box you kind of look for?
I think that you could feel their energy on the phone. You can tell when someone's smiling when you're talking to them. When I'm doing phone interviews, that's what I look for a lot. I can tell someone if they're like, oh my God, like,
sure,
then that's gonna not prompt me to want to interview them again.
Do you think that's what makes people stand out the most, is their energy?
I think so.
Especially being over the phone or Zoom call. Is
Yeah.
it phone call, Zoom calls,
It's
both?
usually a phone call.
Okay.
But you can teach anybody to be a builder, right? You can teach them the ins and outs, but you can't teach them to have integrity. You can't teach them to be honest. So you really have to find that person that has that, and then you can teach them what they need to know.
So I feel like interviewing's been pretty relatively the same over the years. Like, people ask general questions, things like that. Do you feel like you do it different, or you kind of fall into line with everybody else? You ask the general questions?
No, I actually don't do it that way. I do it a little differently. In my previous HR experience at different places, we had a set of interview questions, and you just read line by line by line, and there's no personal take to that. I treat it as we're just having a conversation. I want to know about you. I want to know why you're interested in this position. And it's not me just firing off questions, although that's needed to see if they can react on the spot. But I think that should come in the second interview with the director or the DP. Me, I'm just trying to see if they're able to easily talk to me.
So just a general conversation. So like we're doing right now,
Correct.
but you got super nervous about it? Okay.
Yeah.
So, if you could implement one unconventional office policy, what would it be?
Oh, man. Unconventional office policy.
Yeah.
Have every Friday off?
4-day
work week.
4-day work week.
That's not too unconventional, though. There's a lot
Not
of places
anymore.
that do that.
Yeah. That's pretty, I mean, it's getting normal all the time.
Brian's not allowed to fire anybody for a year.
There we
That's
go.
weird.
That's unconventional.
Doing really well.
There goes my summer
You've
plans.
been doing great.
Doing very well.
I actually don't know what to think about that.
We'll circle back around to
Okay.
that. So let's go back to interviewing. Have you encountered any like extremely bizarre way out there, memorable moments that you're like, what the F just happened?
Yeah, so the guy in the pajamas,
Uh-huh.
the guy that was getting, coaching on the side. I mean, there's been a lot. There's been, people who bring beer to the interview because it's on a Zoom, so they're sitting there drinking their beer.
Like full label and all, like it's a commercial, just flying it?
Yeah, they're just drinking the beer. So when I was before I worked here, I was at another company, and it was during COVID, so we did a lot of Zoom interviews, and it was just people like rolled out of bed and came to the interview. It's just different. I've had people who are like changing during the Zoom interview because they don't realize that I can see them.
Oh,
So yeah, fun times,
that's
fun things.
interesting. Obviously, the people turn in their resumes when they apply. They fill out applications. What's anything crazy you've seen there? Past experiences, stupid stuff they put on there.
Sometimes they think they're uploading resumes, or they'll be uploading like court documents from when they were just arrested and went to jail. So I've seen that. I've seen websites to adult websites that they've had attached to things. I've seen like child support notices, and they think they're uploading their resume, but they're not. So all kinds of
That's fun.
crazy things.
So you're one of 2 remote workers in our entire company.
Yes.
What's that like?
I've been remote before, and it's nice getting to work from home, but I miss seeing everybody in the office. I get lonely. I feel like I'm out of the loop. Like I'm part of the team, but not a part of the team.
Right.
So, I mean, it's nice, but I definitely miss being here with everybody in the office.
Do you feel like you're more productive at home, or you're more productive in the office?
I mean, yeah, I work all the time at home. I mean, till 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, I'll be checking my email. But it's nice because I can work, get up and go do like cleaning, and then come back, work out, do things like that. So.
Do you ever forget you're working? You're like, oh, I thought it was Saturday. It's actually Monday. I should be working. Let me get back to it.
No.
Do you find yourself going the opposite way? You have to
I
stop
work
working?
Saturday mornings.
Yeah.
Usually when Abby's still asleep, I'll get on the computer and do work.
Do you like that you don't have to get dressed every day to go to work? You can just...
Yeah, I mean, party on the business on the top, non-business on the bottom. It was that one meeting, and we all had to stand up, and I was like, I'm not standing up, guys.
I remember that. You definitely
Not
weren't
standing
wearing
up.
professional clothing on the bottom. So there's a big debate in the world right now going with everybody trying to get back from remote work after COVID. Do you think everybody's going to get back into the workplace like they are now? I'm not talking about our company, obviously, but in the business world, do you see everybody going back to work? Do you think remote's going to be just the new normal?
I think hybrid is the new normal. A few days in the office, a few days at home. I think that's what more people are looking for. If you look on all the hiring websites, Indeed and whatnot, you see a lot of hybrid. And it's flexibility of you can work from home, but you need to be in the office a few days a week.
How do you see that fitting into our company?
I mean, as a builder, I don't think that would.
That wouldn't work
be
as a builder,
possible.
but for office staff,
Yeah, I mean, I think it's feasible.
yeah.
Maybe a day or two from home, if that's what they wanted or needed.
Okay. So what else do you like to do? You like to watch football. You have a daughter.
Yeah.
How old's your daughter for people that
I
don't
should say, yep, I got a daughter.
know? Yeah.
She's 5. So.
One kid.
One kid.
You don't want more kids?
No more kids.
Happily
please.
married?
Yes.
So your remote work, where do you live?
I live in Abilene.
Which is how far from Alamogordo?
6.5.
It's quite a drive.
It is.
You live there because?
My husband's in the military.
There you go. Pulling teeth over
Sorry.
here.
I
So
just
when you're
froze.
driving over, what do you listen to?
That's a great question.
So I usually listen to Spotify. I have my playlist, and it has all kinds of stuff. Raps on
Early
there.
2000s rap, like
Early
we've been rolling with
2000s. Old country, new country, 90s country.
Any podcasts you like?
I listen to HR podcast usually. Radical Candor is the one that I like a lot. Or then I'll turn on like a movie and listen to it. To like when I get tired of listening to a
Listen to it,
podcast.
but watch it.
Yeah, I'll put it up on my dash.
Yeah.
Like one you've seen before?
Yeah. One that I know all the words
Do you
to.
have a go-to?
Grease is a good one.
The original?
The original.
Okay.
8 Seconds is a good one.
I forgot about that movie. That's a good one.
It's a good one.
Brings back painful memories.
Lane Frost, right?
Mm-hmm.
Who's your favorite country singer?
God, there's so many.
So give me
What era?
old one. Give me an old one and give me a newer one.
For a new one, I really like Luke Combs right now. I like him a lot. Lainey Wilson is like my favorite right now.
Okay.
I'm obsessed with her at the moment. If we're talking old, I like Travis Tritt, of course, Garth Brooks, George Strait, all the good ones. Loretta Lynn, Patsy Cline would be like my top one from that era.
Going back in the day.
Yeah.
Did you grew up on all that, obviously?
Yeah. Johnny Cash.
Did you grow up on a farm?
I did not.
Oh.
My husband did, but I didn't.
Oh. Fair enough.
I grew up in a town with about 900 people. So.
Oh. Nice.
What town is that?
Riesel, Texas. Right outside Waco.
You're all a Texas girl, huh?
Mm-hmm.
I'm sweating.
It's very
Is it hot?
It's hot.
Yes.
Turn it down. You just turned the key down?
Yeah, I got it.
It hit me. Yeah, you can see a whole bunch of it now because it's dark.
Ooh, thank
Oh,
you.
that feels
That's better.
So much better.
But it's good. So, talking about our company, what's the least favorite part of the company? That's a shitty question. Hang on, let me back up. Where was I going with that? Let me ask the other one first. So we're huge on culture, right? We're all about our culture. We're always growing our culture. We think it's extremely important. We think it's fairly strong at this point. Do you think we have the culture that we think we have? Or do you think we're blind to it?
I think we do. I mean, I think there's always room for growth. But I think, when we had our engagement survey and it was in the almost 90% happiness compared to the 70% it was 3 years ago, that says a lot.
What do you think's changed?
The leadership, and I think the coaching, I think having leaders who care about the employees and who are giving them feedback, whether it's constructive feedback or positive feedback. Even the performance evaluations, that's not something that we did consistently
Sure.
before, and I think that is a lot to the employee that, hey, they care about me enough to give me feedback to help me grow.
Why do you think feedback's important to people? On the surface, people say they don't like feedback, but the truth is, everybody wants feedback.
Everybody wants feedback. You can't grow unless you know that you need to grow. Or, if you think that you're doing everything right, then you're never going to be a better person or a better worker. So you have to have a leader who can push you to be better. And I think that we do that well.
So, talking about the engagement surveys, how truthful do you think people are on them? I know,
Yeah.
I hear it out in the field, is it really anonymous? They're going to know who it comes from. Well,
Yeah.
yeah, if you give indicators who you are, of course we're going to know where it comes from.
Yeah.
But overall, it is anonymous.
It really is.
Do you think people are true, fair, and honest on there?
Yeah, first I will say it is anonymous. I have absolutely no idea who's completing what. It comes in like a cluster of results, so you
Right.
really don't know. And I don't think that people are fully honest because they think that it's not anonymous.
Sure. Well, we all know it's anonymous. We've sat there in leadership meetings and said, I wish we knew where this comment came from so we could get more context to
Yeah.
that, what they're talking about, but
Yeah.
there's no way of tracking
And
it down.
I wish if that's how people felt, they would just voice that so we did have the context.
Why do you think people don't voice some of their concerns?
Fear of retaliation, which is not something that I think we do. But I think
Right.
everybody has that fear, or fear of feeling stupid. Like they should know, but they don't.
How do we ingrain that into our culture where it's okay to bring that out into light if something's not right or they need to talk about something without fear of anything?
I think it's something that we've been working on. And I think like in the division meetings, it's going in that direction
Mhm.
where people are speaking up more, asking more questions. I think it's just something that they need to see. Like if they ask that question, they're not going to jump down my throat.
Right.
Like if we just keep doing it and they see it, maybe it'll help them relax.
I think it's interesting because that's never been our culture.
No.
Even 6 years ago when I joined the company that our culture was 100% different. We didn't necessarily have a specific culture, but that was never part of it. It's always very positive and things are okay. It's interesting that maybe it's just past experiences from other jobs.
It is. It's trauma.
Yeah.
I mean, you have a bad experience at one place, no matter how good a culture is, you're always going to have that with you. I have it from previous places.
You want to talk about that?
No. So.
All right, we're going to get to our last 2 questions.
Okay.
These are easy ones. What's one question you wish I had asked you, and how would you have answered it?
What's one question I wish you asked me was, name a fun fact about you nobody knows.
Okay.
And I would have said that I've had lunch with President Bush at his house.
Senior or junior?
Junior.
That's awesome.
He
Let's
is
hear
my
about
husband's neighbor. My husband's parents' neighbor. They live on the same road in Crawford, Texas. I mean, it's the country, so they're spread out.
Sure.
But they're neighbors. And when Justin's dad came back from Iraq, I want to say, he got a notification from George Bush, who was inviting all of the neighbors over for lunch. And so us and a few others went to his house, had lunch with him and his wife.
That's
at
awesome.
Their house. It was awesome. I have a picture. I'll show everybody if they want to see it.
Send it to us so we can put it in here.
I'll send it to you.
That's freaking awesome.
It was awesome.
I'm a big George
And he
Bush
was
fan.
a normal guy. I remember he was talking to me, and I could see his nose hairs doing like this. And that's all I could think of is his nose hairs.
Even George W. Bush's nose hair.
Yeah. But they have a normal house. Like, it's nothing fancy. It's a normal
Really?
house. Yeah.
What'd y'all talk about?
Couldn't tell you.
Politics?
It was over.
Is it like Secret
12
Service?
years
She
ago.
was distracted by his nose hair.
Honestly don't know. I know Justin's dad talked to him a lot, but I personally at that time didn't say much because I was too young to realize how cool it was.
Was he president then?
No.
He had already got out
he
of
already
office?
got out.
Okay. That's pretty cool.
It was cool.
Like, that's my favorite part of the night. He's the only president I've seen in person. He came to Hobbs to talk.
Nice.
Way back then. Okay, final question. Who would you like to see on the vlog and why?
Could it be anybody?
It can
Anybody.
be anybody.
I would like to see Hillary or Zach.
Okay.
Why so?
Yeah.
I think they're both big personalities, and I think it would be a fun interview. And to get to learn more about them. I mean, we know that Zach likes to hunt and whatnot, but
Zach likes to be about himself,
and
so
like
that'll be
Zach likes
fun.
to be Zote.
Okay, awesome.
And I still don't have an answer on the policy.
We're going to circle back around to
Gotta
the
give me a
policy
minute.
because I really want to know that. You can send that in to us later.
Okay, thanks.
Any goofy policy.
Any
No
goofy
fear of
policy.
retaliation. Leave
Could it
your
be
past
like-
traumas behind.
Could it be like wear pajamas to work day?
Sure,
Whatever
whatever you
Because that
want.
sounds fantastic. Work from home day, but from the office. Come to work in the attire that you'd work from home in.
That's a little scary.
Well, you could
But
be like,
Zach is a lot more productive when he's at home in his sweats.
right, so
it's
he could
proven.
wear sweats on the bottom, business on the top.
Tuck in his shirt, wear a tie.
There you go. Furry slippers.
Thank you for hanging out with us. and
Thanks.
Having dinner with us.
Yeah, it was
Thank you.
cool. We
It
appreciate
was
you doing
nice.
this.
Thank you.
We know you were dreading this.
I was. My palms are sweaty.
You did
You can
awesome.
check it off. It's done.
It's done.
None of these are recording. We're going to have to do it all over again. But this was just our test run.
Well, okay.
This is practice.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, now I'm prepared.
Cool. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm here for the builder position. What the?
Introduce yourself. Say she looks nice.
Hi. You're hot.
Oh!
Hello.
Hi.
Hi. I like that you
You're really killing me with this question. I don't know why it's so hard.
Well, we told you we're going to give you a couple days. We actually gave you several weeks, so I would have
You did.
hoped you would have had an amazing answer at this point.
Well, I'm just winging it.
That's okay. That's how we do our whole life.
Okay.
You gotta
That
risk it
works.
for the biscuit.
That's
We're
right.
going to have to cut that out. That's an HR issue. All right, so I'm going to ask you the question, and you can just answer it because I know you have a fantastic answer. Okay. So we asked you if you could implement any unconventional office policy, what would it be?
A policy I would implement is having spirit weeks, whatever week that may be, but a whole week where every day is a different theme, whether it's dressing up for that day, dance-offs.
So like the school
games.
spirit week?
Yeah, like a school spirit week.
Yeah, like pep rallies, like homecoming.
Okay, so your task is people director is to get that implemented because that actually sounds quite wonderful.
I mean, we kind of already do Floral Friday. We just got to get more people involved in that.
That's true.
That's actually pretty cool.
That was a really cool idea.
Thank you.
See, you stressed over nothing.
I did.
But now you just made it so you have to come up with 5 more answers so you can fill the whole week.
Well, I'm okay with that.
She's like, I'm going to pick Christmas week, and then it's just nothing. Everybody's off.
Yeah, the week of Christmas that we're closed.
Okay,
I
cool.
thought it'd be fun, like football season, the theme of,
No,
that's what it's usually done. So.
I actually like that idea because they do it through elementary school and high school.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Might as well bring it to the work.
You could change up the categories every year because it's just a week you look forward to. You know there's something coming, so you can switch it up a little bit. It's pretty cool.
It'd be kind of sad with Chastity at her home, just dressed up by herself.
Theming on our values.
Oh, you would come for Spirit Week. I got you.
I would come, yeah.
Fair enough. Fair enough. And then we'd have to have a big pep rally at the end of it all.
There you go.
Cool. Is that all we had?
All right.
Yeah, we just wanted to get your official answer on that one because we said we were going to catch back up with you. So
Cool. Sounds
cool.
good.
Thanks, Chastity. We appreciate it.
Thank you. Of course.
Okay, bye.
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 Do people put weird things in like their skills?
I had
Like
somebody.
Professional juggler.
Yeah, like random shit like that.
It was like People of the Year or something, and I was like, "What? Cool! Like that's awesome!" So I Google it, you'll see it, and you can nominate yourself for Person of the Year or something. And so that's what he did.
Nominate himself?
He nominated himself, and they give you an award, and then you could he put it on his resume.
Heck yeah.
Oh, that's
Guess what I'm doing tonight?
So think about it. If someone asked you about your kids, you'd be like, "Yep, I got 2 of them."
Well, they would know not to ask me because I don't.
And I swear to you, all of those stories are legit.
Well,
So
all
you
kinds
gotta
of
cut
stuff
out like all of that, please.
Do what?
Cut out like all of that.
We hope you've enjoyed the episode as much as we have. Be sure to like, share, and or subscribe. We will see you next time on #Quality No Exceptions. Brought to you by Fred Brothers Homes.